Good day, everyone, and Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to another episode of
Mom and Son Podcast. This is Rose Fres Fausto, the mom, also known as FQ Mom.
And Anton Fausto, the son. So, we're recording here in Club Paradise, Coron, Palawan. We are just concluding our family vacation.
Yes. Can you hear the waves?
Yeah, and so may ambience. This is all natural.
Yeah.
All natural. We're not hindi siya effects.
Anton, let's try to
anything.
describe where we are. We are lying down, actually, and we're looking at a very pretty, less than a quarter moon, and a really bright star.
And kakatapos lang ng, for me, this is the
Sunset.
most beautiful sunset of our stay here. Kasi there are different types of sunsets. This is the one na umiba talaga yung kulay. You know, like when you edit a video and then you make the contrast, increase the contrast and saturation.
That's how it
parang
looks.
That's what someone did to this entire sky.
Yeah, parang may painting, and then the
Purple,
hues
orange.
change. And then the bats come out, na parang hundreds of bats flying on the air. Ang ganda.
Yeah, so anyway, for this episode, we just like to discuss and sort of wrap up this entire year. Our entire year personally, and of course, this entire year of podcasting. So first, we'd like to thank everyone who's continued to support, to listen, comment, discuss our past episodes. So we've already had 50 episodes.
Wow.
We started
One whole
this
year.
Yeah, we started this early this year, January.
It was a product of another family goal setting, diba? So January 8 was our first episode
Of course, we started with the bullying, with the very controversial incident. Wow, and yung I think we mentioned it nga na that time really will sort of tawag doon. Time will sort of let things go. Na it's gonna be swept away then, because there are gonna be
Like
more
the-
current events
like
that will
the
happen.
waves that we're seeing right now. Oo nga eh. So, but it still is an issue in schools and, everywhere actually. There's always a bully. So, the lesson there is, there are always two players. Well, actually, three nga, diba?
Yeah.
The bully, the bullied, and the bystander. So, you have to understand how the dynamics work. Tapos, you avoid it, no? Avoid it kasi hindi naman mali yun eh. It's not a healthy environment that you're creating if you allow this to happen. Oh my God, there are so many bullies.
Yeah, and there's so many things to talk about. And now one of our other episodes was the goal setting, and it's something that we did here on our trip, and something that we'll discuss a little today, and how it's kind of different now, because since it's 2019, it is the end of a decade. So what we did isn't...
It's not the normal annual goal setting, no? We also did a decade
in review. So 10 years ago, I was 13 years old. So I just entered high school. I was first year high school.
10 years ago, I wasn't a golden girl yet.
So you were 45. Oh. Okay. What were you doing?
Oh yeah, that was, diba, as I shared with you. I was already trying to figure out whether to release that book, Raising Pinoy
so it's sort of
Boys.
like a start of your another career. For me naman, it's the start of yung patapusan ng educational, well, at least the formal school aspect of my life. That was the start of high school, and then now, more than a year na out of school, out of college, after graduation.
In the real world, so to speak.
Yeah, so what we did, we also, we sort of took inspiration from one of Mama's, is it safe to say, favorite authors?
Well,
you have so many favorite authors still.
Yeah, it's a new person that I'm following now. Her name is Marie Forleo. She's quite a rock star.
Yes, and she
wrote this book entitled Everything is Figureoutable.
Which is very you, actually. It's very Mama to have that mindset that everything's figureoutable. If there's a solution, you can find it. Ganun. So yeah, anyway, taking inspiration from her videos and what she teaches, what we did with our decade in review, which I also did for our entire year, was to focus on first you want to look back and we invite everybody to do this, to look back at all the accomplishments you've had, all the ups you had in this past year and this past decade, because sometimes it helps then you forget all the good things that you did. It's normal na at this point in your life, for example during high school, at that time mundo ka talaga yung dance competitions, as in, it was really that. But then now it's just like a memory na lang. But once you look back at it and you think, oh wow, it's nice kasi you remember na, wow, I actually did that, and I actually was the person who was able to set a goal in front of you, and I got to accomplish it. And why I really love doing this is because it gives you inspiration and sort of like motivation na kaya mo rin. Because now as you grow older, ideally you have bigger, more meaningful goals pa than you did 10 years ago. And if you could do those things that you did 10 years ago, diba, as the person you are now, with all the growth and the learnings you've had over the past
more, no?
10 years, yes, you can do even more.
And maybe a tip that you can give them and try to recall, kasi mahirap din mag-review ng 10 years, no? Look at your photos, look at whatever documents that you have there, no? Para bang, ay, ito pala yun, ay, oo nga pala, ganun. Mas maaalala mo the things that you've done, the things where you succeeded, where you failed.
Yeah, and the next one, so talking about all the accomplishments you've had, all the good things, everything you learned. I think it's also good to look at where you lacked, the mistakes you made.
Yeah, where you quote unquote failed, which is not really a failure,
yes,
but
of course.
where it's probably more of where you didn't get the initially intended result.
Yes, because these things are all learnings. They're all learning moments and opportunities. And without these learnings, you wouldn't be where you are today, syempre. And not just looking at what happened and why, and what you didn't do right, what you did wrong. It's also important to look at why. Not just, oh, I didn't achieve this goal. Like, why didn't you achieve it? Why did it happen? Because that's when you get to really pick the lesson from.
Yes, that the learning
for
is
the
the
future.
more important thing there,
Yes.
no? Sige. Anything else about that? The decade in review? Meron ka pa?
Well, the final thing, and I think this one's even really, I guess it's even more important. I mean, it's very important to look back at your decade, but then you have to set yourself up for the next decade. Because when I look at myself in the next 10 years, I will be 33 years old, and that's kind of scary. Because, grabe, I still feel like I'm the same person I was when I was 13-ish. Yung parang, yung bata pa rin. Pero when you're 33 na talaga, kasi
Super adult
that's it
ka
na.
na.
Oo,
You can actually have your own family. I already had all of you at that age.
oh my gosh.
I already had all of you.
Wow.
Yeah. Madami ng ganap nun.
Yeah. Oh, and this thing I want to share also with I haven't done it yet, but it's a good exercise also from Maria for you. Na for people, when you think about the next 10 years, what you do is usually diba, people write a letter to their future selves. So,
Yes.
Dear future Anton, ganyan, I hope you
Yeah.
achieve this, blah, blah, blah. You have a house, blah, blah. But then it's nice to write a letter to yourself from
the future
the
you.
future Anton. Parang ganun. So,
Okay.
33-year-old Anton writing
To a 23-year-old.
yes, and then you tell him things about how things you learned, things you should do. Parang imagine, because you have all this potential wisdom in your mind, and then you just have to use your imagination on what that person kind of is. And if you sort of play that role, like let's say you act as the 33-year-old, it sort of gives you this idea of what person you could become, what person
You
you would
want
be
to
like. Yes.
Do you want to share that?
I haven't done that exercise yet.
letter?
I haven't done it yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something I'll probably do when not on a vacation. Right now, sinasarap-sarap ko pa yung
Yung
mga
waves,
sunset.
yung
Yes.
sunset.
Do you have anything else to add about the decade in review?
Wala ako. I was very happy with my decade kasi that really started my new chapter in life about this writing the book and then becoming a resource speaker on money and family. Kasi di ba, I was an investment banker and then I became a full-time homemaker and then the book happened. Raising Pinoy Boys. And that really brought all these things na one thing led to another, pati kayo na involved na rin. And I'm very, very grateful for that. In fact, I always say nga na if I could only guarantee to all the moms out there who are para bang nag-iisip na, ay, nagigilty na ako. I'm not spending a lot of time with my children during their growing up years. If I could only guarantee that they will have something that I have right now, sasabihin ko, sige, go na. Mag-homemaker full-time ka na ngayon at marami pang mangyayari. But of course, it's not the same for everybody.
Yeah.
So,
everybody
yun
has their
lang.
own style. Each family
Yes.
has their own style. And this is just us sharing our style. And speaking of sharing our style, we just want to thank again everybody for the support for all our episodes. And we still have a lot to talk about. And we still want to continue to invite everyone to keep sending in those suggestions or topics and questions on what you want us to discuss.
Anong gusto niyo pag-usapan namin?
Yeah, and also we want to thank, speaking of thanking, we want to thank, of course, everybody who's been part of our journey this entire year. So, of course, starting with our first guest, which was Chris Tew.
Yes.
That was a great interview, and I think that helped me also with my interviewing life, because in Mix as a VJ, that's part of the job. You have to interview.
You interviewed him before you became a VJ, is that right? Wow.
Yes. It was just our 7th episode when you had the Chris Tew episode.
And so talking about Chris Tew, they're gonna do the family goal set.
Oh, that's nice.
I hope to hear from him on his update how they did it together with his wife Cla.
Yes,
They have
and of
two
course,
very young daughters pa kasi.
got to interviewed very successful people like Chris Tew, but then also got to interview my colleagues or peers, my age, Lance and Isabel, who are now still, they're already successful. I can say that at this age they're already successful.
Yeah.
They still have a lot to.
Excuse me, they were visited by no less than Martha Stewart.
They one of the guys even Pio Words back. I mean, they're doing big time with Albero.
It's very nice naman. Ganda ng products nila, Albero.
Yes, and also different professionals such as Teacher Michelle Sumichi with her dancing career.
Yeah, Teacher Michelle.
Bea Lorenzo with her music career. Antona Sisio, basketball career. I'm actually very happy that I got to do all these things. And of course, in my field.
Do you also enjoy that? Is that something that the two of us share? I really like interviewing
and
people.
I enjoy learning because it also gives you that, because I like learning stories of different people, especially if there's something about their career and I really like, or something I want to learn. How did they get to this stage? How did they achieve this? And then it's one thing to just ask them, diba? Have a conversation with them. But then also, this podcast helps me to have that parang way to get to talk to them and hopefully,
it all out, no?
yeah. So I do this podcast also for me because we share it to the world. But then the act of creating this content and learning these stories is one of the biggest rewards already of this podcast. And then moving on.
Yes, we got to know each other even more, no?
Yeah.
Even if we already thought that we have a close relationship, para ba, uy, ngayon ko lang nalaman yun.
Yeah, and our family also, and Papa also, who's here listening. Unless he's napping.
Or is he napping already?
Yeah, he told me he got to learn more about me, because this is also a recording of our thoughts, diba?
Yep.
Like one of our previous episodes, it's kind of just like a discussion. It's something I enjoy. And also, like to thank, of course, my fellow VJs, Danny, Aya, also
VJ
Sam.
Danny, VJ Aya, thank you.
Yeah, and also
VJ Sam.
Yes, basketball also, Tito Chot Reyes.
Oh, Puso.
That would be the longest. I actually had to cut that interview. So it ended up as a 40-minute interview.
Si Chot.
Makwento, and I had so many questions. And
you were fed so well during that interview.
Oh, yeah.
By Tita Cherry.
Oh, yeah. They cooked
the
hairdresser,
the presidential hairdresser.
As well as,
regime.
I just want to keep thanking the people who we got on our podcast. Rocky Ali, who's now engaged.
Congratulations, Rocky.
It's a few weeks ago.
So, did Rocky give the rock? Woo,
yeah, he did.
Patawa.
He did. And it was in that episode when I asked him he told me about how he was going to propose. It was this...
Oh, really?
Like, he had
told
all
you
their
before
family and friends. There's
nice.
this nice spot in Rockwell that he was going to bring her to.
Oh.
Yeah, no. And then when he points at the window of his condo, all the family and friends are there holding up
oh my
Will
God.
You Marry Me? So there's a whole production.
Yes, and the family is involved. Ibig sabihin, para bang there's a tacit approval na talaga na, we all want you to be part of a family.
Yeah, and also Kira Marty, of course, and
of
Papa,
course, the members of the family.
Own.
Have
And
you guessed it,
also,
Enrique?
Dikong is only the sibling one. I actually haven't had.
One-on-one.
I should.
There should be a CFA episode.
Yeah, I think I did.
Sabihin mo, what is this? And it's nice that you should be the one to interview him para you break it down and
in a
avoid the
very
finance jargon.
layman's terms. And also speaking of Enrique, his good friend Arthur Tan, a DJ while we were in New York.
And then in the NYC.
And last but not the least, Cyril, our recent episode about Quadro. Yeah,
Yep.
so wow, it's nice to look back. You see, just doing this, looking back at all the episodes we did, it's nakaka-proud.
Nakaka-proud. Deserve mo ba ang pakikinig? Ay, naku, yung mga expressions na yan. So, it's really going to be a very exciting year ahead of us. It's the turn of the decade. And
the gyms will be full again for the first 3 months.
I know. And
you know
of
what,
course, our financial goals.
Just something about that. Although people sometimes are disheartened with the fact that, yes, the first 3 months lang naman, ganyan, the first part. I think that's better than nothing. It's better than not being fit at all for any of the 12 months. So if you think na, if I start my fitness journey now, if I start exercising regularly, mawawala rin yan eh. You know what? I think just do it anyway. And if you end up falling out of it, if you end up finding excuses to stop, at least you did it. It's better than just going, I won't dagang since I probably will stop.
Yeah.
Imagine at least you had a few fit months.
and there's really a way to reset. Okay, so I have to say 2 things about what you said na better na lang than nothing at all. Diba yung iba, ayoko na mag New Year's resolution, wala naman nangyayari. Okay, number 1, there really is that behavioral bias, which is, it really makes a lot of importance, gives a lot of importance to the power of a fresh start.
Yes.
So, if that is really already in our wiring, why don't you make use of it, diba? Di gamitin mo na, tapos, yung ang reset. There is a way naman to reset. So, I don't know what it could be to you. It could be your birthday. It could be the start of a new quarter. Parang, you just have to convince yourself na binabawi mo eh. And, gano'n naman talagang buhay eh. Because, humans tayo eh, di ba? Even, in the Catholic faith, di ba?
Yes.
We sin, we confess, we go back within the love circle. Parang ganyan. So, it's a reality of life that we just have to embrace. And we just make do. Yun nga, sinasabi natin lagi. You just have to design something so that it's easier for you to go back to the right path. Liitan mo na lang yung bandwidth ng error mo. Parang sa bewang.
Yeah.
Lagi niyong sukatin ng bewang nyo at kung lumalagpas na kayo ng 1 inch, medyo bawas-bawas.
Yes, and that's a perfect message to end with our episode because it's something even I have to work on.
Let's all work on. Ako din, I gotta go back
also
to bewang.
Also this vacation mode. Although it's very fun, I think it's even more fun and fulfilling when you get to that healthy state again.
Yep.
Yes. All right. So once again, I'd like to thank everybody for the entire year. We are very excited for what's in store for the next year. We hope everybody's safe and everybody has a clear 2020 vision
really
on the
clear
upcoming year
2020.
and the upcoming decade.
Yes.
Any last words, Ma?
Yes, I'd like to wish all of you a really, really great 2020 and a great decade ahead of you. Maraming salamat. Magkwentuhan pa tayo ulit.
Alright, so thank you again for listening to our final 2019 episode of the
Mom and Son Podcast. This has been Rose Fres Fausto, the mom, also known as FQ Mom.
And Anton Falso, the son. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Boom, boom!
The Mom and Son podcast airs every Tuesday, 7 a.m. and can be streamed on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Buzzsprout.com, and YouTube. Just search Mom and Son Podcast for your weekly dose of family, finance, passions, and everything in between. Leave a comment so other listeners may find this podcast. If you have any questions or suggested topics, email us at antonfalso@gmail.com.